thought
I need to
Lady Grey
try.
was already that.
I need to try more tea, but I'm not sure how big of a selection they have here in Canada.
Oh, they have tons, dude. I live in America. There's like a good
50
selection
million.
already. I would try. I would try if you have
Okay, so
a Chinese store
we're
nearby.
back to talking about TF2 and no more tea.
You can keep talking about tea. You got another
I
minute.
love tea. I don't like tea.
Well, which is it? You said you love tea, and then I don't like tea.
I would like tea if it had more than a scent.
Well, I mean, it does. It just depends how you prepare it and what tea it is. If you like dip it once, it's not gonna have a taste.
Okay.
Who's Cookie?
Cookie.
I'm assuming you guys can see this.
Yeah, we can see this.
Okay, cool.
Cookie.
Question for you guys.
Hey, Jeff.
Do you have a general idea or like plan of what you want to do each mid?
I have to leave in 10 minutes.
That's okay. I'm recording this, so I'll be able to post the video.
Yeah, I'll watch everything that happens after this point. So flank scout should usually be watching flank when you're at a disad.
Passively watching on flank.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to be too aggressive because it's very easy as flank scout to
because then you can just
get
fuck
caught.
up and die.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I fucked up and died many times during the last part of the game.
Yeah, if you want a personal demo review, just let me know, Raf.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt, but people who can't talk, can you put it in hashtag VC so I can read it out for the recording?
Okay, sweet. Are we ready then? Cool. So what's like your general plan going into the middles?
Usually it's just to do what Jakey kind of suggested. So usually just textbook.
Okay. Alright, Raf, you do want to pressure the demo, but that's way too aggressive for doing it.
I was noticing they weren't trapping.
Yeah.
The flank, so I wanted to go in and try to shoot him a little bit.
Yeah, so you know that their team's gonna be coming up here really quick, so unless you immediately get something, you have to back up, because otherwise you're just isolating yourself.
Most of the time a play only works once. And then they're like, okay, don't do that.
Yeah, you're not trying to actually get anything, you're just trying to stop their demo from locking out your team. Okay, this is good. You guys are all on the same side, so once you're healthy, you can all just bomb across together, or play passive and shoot their soldiers. This is good. Eyes is doing a high bomb, so you should all be walking across with them. But you guys are kind of just chilling back, and that's when this mid is kind of starting to fall apart, because your soldiers are trying to make space, but no one's following up on that space. And then instead they're able to take that space, and you guys are forced out. Give me a second here. There we go. Alright, soldiers sacking, that's good, you live. They're actually down 3 right now, so you could push back in with your player ad. They're holding close choke, so you can have Eyes, who's big door. If he's standing right here, spotting where they are, he would now see they're all backed up and say, hey, come through choke right now. But it looks like you guys are just opting to play it normal, which is fine because you did have 2 players rolling out. The main thing is just peeking and seeing how much space they're giving you. Raph, this is way too aggressive. If a soldier like came up drop down or like juggled you, you'd probably die there. Scouts don't contest doorways. That's what soldiers in demos do. Soldiers here, this is good. Ah, that's sad. Almost got that kill there. The only thing on that soldier I would have said, if you had been here from the beginning instead of standing in choke, you would have seen him a little earlier. Alright, expect their sack. Looks like they're bringing heals big door, so that your heals should rotate. That's what you guys are doing. Even though you guys are rotating your heals big door, make sure someone is still watching choke, because they could send someone through choke and you'd get a flank and force your med. But this is good. You guys have numbers, so you can keep aggressing here. After you lose one, you now don't have anything else to go off of, so you need to back up. Instead, you're taking an exchange here. That's good, but your positioning is worse in this Uber, so you should just back up, reset, and just chill. But it looks like Fugazi saw that they were backing up, so he called that. Once they're leaving the mid, you don't have to keep chasing them. Just take positioning, make sure your whole team is here, and then you're set. You were kind of calling, like, come into them, probably, but your team wasn't as fast as you, so you just have to make sure that everyone is with you before actually committing in.
And sometimes it can lead to a team wipe.
Yeah, exactly. Notice what they're doing here, actually. That one scout came in, everyone was looking at that scout, and the rest of their team is walking in and kind of collapsing on your players that were looking at that scout. That's kind of what you guys want to do in certain situations, but I think that this is a good like moment to point that out. But instead, if you guys had taken positioning on mid, you would have had chokes or sticks on choke. They wouldn't have been able to walk in, and you would have been able to potentially see that scout a little sooner and deal with him. Now you just should live. After your medic dies, it's okay to go try to kill their medic if you die quickly, but you have to be careful about living too long and then dying, because then your spawn will be too long. You'll see here, Jive, you have 17 seconds. That's a pretty long spawn. So once you guys got the point, you immediately have to leave. Alright.
In comms, I was asking if I should go resupply or not.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can get a pack, wait for an arrow or something. You guys should be playing disad though, because you know that your medic died, but their medic did not. So they're going to have an uber advantage. Instead, you're peeking aggressively in this choke point, when really there's no reason to do that. You're not going to be getting anything just from spamming this, and if they uber into you, then your team just kind of wipes. Just play on high ground like Jakey was saying earlier. Do they do anything with their ad? They should. They should be coming into you.
At this level, I find most medics don't know that they have ad.
Yeah, it was pretty big ad, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. But even if even if you don't think they're gonna come into you, you should still be playing like they would.
Yeah, we noticed that they were really bad at taking advantage of ad. We played a lot more off of it in our next round, which was on process, but...
Oh, I was on process. I feel bad about missing it now.
Yeah. When you guys are defending... When you guys are defending, be careful about getting super aggressive, like both in choke and in big door, because it's on them to try to do something and come into you, rather than you trying to make something happen. Like, if you see a free opportunity, sure, go for it, but be very careful doing that. Roth, you were there for a while, pretty hurt. You can just stand back here and ask for an arrow.
I couldn't. They were watching the cross. I was hiding in the corner.
In the corner
In
over
the
here?
door.
Yeah, you can just kind of run
No,
around.
not that corner. Not that corner.
Like around the
Far
wall?
corner.
Over
The
here?
very far corner.
Just go out through baby door.
No, not baby door. Like
This
left.
corner?
Yeah, that corner.
I think you still could have left, probably. Like, your demo was spamming, so your demo can say, like, they're pressured, and then it's safe for you to leave. Just coordinate that with your demo next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, they're taking an exchange. So don't give up too much positioning here. You have Uber, so you can go back into them. Alright, that's a good use. Make sure you save your demo here. And chase. Oh, that's sad. So your pocket scout got dropped there. And then you guys forgot about the scout behind. So that's kind of what happens here. After your pocket scout gets dropped, you need to think about how this is going to be worse. And when you're down players and your soldiers weren't really nearby, there's nothing really to lock them down from the choke besides your demo. And once one player is through the choke, you're kind of screwed. Roth, something that'll make your guns a little harder to spam down is if you put them in this corner here. Or you can
They said that
also
mid-match.
put them on the stairs here.
They said that mid-match. I did it a bit later.
Alright, cool. Oh, Beast, you got their demo. That's sick. And they use, this is good. So their Ubers should be pretty bad here. It's god awful. So everyone needs to live here. Just don't let that guy cap. This is good. You still have a gun. Actually, your whole team kind of died. That sucks. Just back into spawn if you need to. There was so much time where their Uber was here, where you had all the time in the world to just back up. Stalemate time. Oh no. Let me just speed it up a little.
I love stalemate. It's the 6v6 staple.
Yeah. Also, if they're spamming your gun a lot like this, tell your team to stop letting them do that. Like, have your soldier go down here and shoot this guy. Like, they shouldn't be able to spam for free. That's kind of on your whole team. But especially the soldiers. Alright. They use their ad in again. This is good, you're cutting through spawn. But it looks like their post-Uber positioning was just a little better than you guys. Basically what you want to do is have like everyone try to live as long as possible. Like your soldiers, if they're kind of vibing over here, once the Uber's over, you guys can both bomb and then land on them here. Because they're all kind of going to be on the point.
Is it alright if I leave? I have to go now.
Oh, that's completely fine.
You are recording this, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you post the rest?
Yeah, I will.
And here? Thanks. I'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Yeah, Roth.
So they're going on your side. So your demo just should back up here. This is good. Yeah, you got both scouts here. This is great. So now you can stabilize and use your numbers to slowly push them out, because you know that they're going to be leaving anyway. Alright, this is great. And you can actually keep going here because you still have numbers. Your demo was just a little too fast. As demo, make sure you have your pocket scout always in front of you. I don't know where that guy came from. But just make sure you're watching everything. But pocket scout should be the one leading the charge. But I did like the idea to go forward there. It's disad, back up! Wow, they really hate taking their ad into you guys.
Oh
They
yeah, no, they
probably
did this to
don't
me.
actually know that they have ad. I'm just being like very like candid on that one.
Yeah. Alright, there they go. They might have just been waiting for their player. But because you guys were all at this choke, you're getting caught on it. It's looked like only Ash got caught, which is fine. But just be careful about that. And now you guys have ad into them, so you can immediately rotate river and start pushing back into second from here. Never try to really contest second from shutter here, because it's on the low ground, and it's so easy for a demo just to lock this out. Just walk your combo up these stairs, and then you can push through river.
And they know that you have Uber, so they should give you respect and backup out of there if they want to keep their medic alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Going down low ground, see, you got forced there because you went low ground. If you had gone high ground, you probably wouldn't have been able to push them out without using at all and then take mid with your Uber.
Alright, the scout dies. This is good. Lock down the choke, and now you guys are playing disad. This is kind of what leapfrogging is. Just going back. They use into you, you guys use into them, and then they use back into you. And so on and so forth.
Until somebody ekes out a real advantage.
Exactly.
If there's ever a time that you're building like that, you really should be thinking you should be backing up. You guys were building, just kind of standing there, waiting for them to use right into your weak scout because he's building.
Yep. You guys have player advantage too, so you could have pressured that. You have player and number advantage, so you guys are kind of just chilling on last, still waiting for them to come into you. I think this kind of happens a lot, where you guys aren't really sure when to take it aggressive into them. It's just being a lot faster on those transitions and recognizing that they're there.
I think that they did that because they lost their demo, but realistically, you could have waited for your demo to respawn and take control of lobby while the rest of you pushed out. Your demo can hold down lobby pretty much by himself.
Yeah, when pushing out of gully last, when you're pushing in river, you don't actually need your demo with you there. You'll have a scout and a soldier, and that's good enough because your demo will be locking down lobby, making sure that no one's trying to go for a back cap. So it's completely fine that your demo was spawning a little late. You can still have your combo in river, and then when your demo spawns, he can push through lobby with your flank scout. So this also happens a few times. As soon as you're not getting anything with the Uber, you need to think about what the situation is. Right there, you were down 2 players compared to them. You had 3 dead, they had 1 down. So you guys need to leave. You need to respect that they have a 2-player advantage over you and back up. Instead, you're still taking this fight, which is inherently going to be bad for you. And it's just going to cause you to lose more people, and then they'll be able to roll into last. Yeah, and they get your med off that. So see how they're already rolling into last here? That's because you lost those extra players. If you had immediately backed up as soon as your Uber went bad, then you would have had a better chance of defending this.
Not every Uber has to be used. If it's bad, then just salvage, live. You don't have to like try and get kills off of every Uber. Sometimes it's just not worth it.
Yeah. It's like no one's job really to be a super like playmaker. You kind of just see opportunities and kind of let them fall into your lap. Like if they're out of position. Alright, hopefully that soldier was called drop down. We'll see. Looks like he was not. So it looks like you guys were kind of unsure about what to do. Like if you're playing point or like everyone was kind of healing after that soldier came up drop down. Like someone needs to call like, hey, we're still fighting this, or hey, we're leaving. And if you are still fighting it, the positioning needs to be a lot more centralized around here. Like medic should be looking forward. The scout, there's no point in playing on cap there. I think it was a scout there at least. Because you're not going to cap mid. They're just going to be able to stop it. And even if you do get the cap, they can just recap. Instead, if you're looking forward and your demo spamming, it's going to be harder for them to cross into you. And that's kind of what you're trying to do on this mid. Oh wait, is that soldier still alive? Oh, I thought that guy died way sooner.
Did not die.
Yeah.
He got away, actually.
Yeah, so you can't let that guy live behind you, because when you're leaving, he's just gonna do exactly what happened there. So someone needs to... You either need to commit to killing that soldier or commit to going forward. You can't kind of hesitate in the middle, because then you're just getting pinched. We got everyone here, what the heck? Alright, full disad. You don't have time for an engineer, so you have the heavy, this is good. You can also have a pyro or a sniper if you really want, but it's a bit late for that, so pyro would probably be better. Raf, don't be playing in lobby on disad. The odds of you getting anything, especially like in this tiny box in lower main, is very small, and you're more likely just to die before the Uber. And on disad, if a player is dying before they're coming into you, that's feeding. Oh, you guys get the drop. This is sick. Don't overchase. Don't overchase. Just stabilize for a second on last. Let your team kind of coordinate the push together, and then push forward. Instead, you guys are all kind of thinking, oh, let's all push out, but you're doing it separately. You just need to make sure that everyone is on the same page. When you're going forward, you have to be asking the other people on your team like where they are, what they're doing, and everyone needs to be calming that. And then from that information, your main caller can be saying how fast you're going. Alright, they're just sending people into you randomly. Alright, this is full ad, so you guys can go into them. You see that their demo is shooting sticks through choke, so you know that if you go big door, it'll likely be a lot more free than if you go choke. Because you won't have to worry about the demo traps. This is good. You guys are using in. This is aggressive. So when you're going big door, you're bombing your demo, and your scout has to immediately run up here, and basically as scout what you're trying to do is, if they're not already out, or if they are already out, you have to kill anything that is in. There was a scout here fighting your demo, and if you had been shooting that scout instead, then your demo might have lived. So now you're down players, you just have to run. You can't be taking these fights here as soon as you lose that many players. A lot of what is consistently happening is you guys are losing players, and then people aren't leaving soon enough, so those people get caught as well. And then that is the snowball effect with what Jakey was talking about earlier. So it's disadd again. You don't really have time to build here. It's not really worth it. Scout on Gully last is pretty worthless unless you're building. Like, you're not going to be getting anything just because of how small it is. As soon as they use their Uber, if you are building, you need to stop building.
If the disset is that big on last, you should realistically just buff players and have off classes.
Yeah.
You should not be building at all because all you're doing is making it so that all your other players aren't healed, and now they absolutely are not going to survive the fight when they do use in.
Yep. Exactly. Like when it's that big disad, you're just better off having the off classes.
Like a pyro would be pretty good there because then you can like get info on where they're coming in at and just kind of stuff them. Like
Yeah, if your
I've had
pyro's
so
like
many
right
Ubers like
here,
hit on. Yeah.
just air blasting consistently, like it's really hard for them to get through this doorway.
Can shut down like an entire push doing that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing about pyro that you want to make sure is make sure they're not like rotating shutter, because that's kind of the counterplay to pyro. You need to know which door that they're coming through. Uh, but yeah, that was that. Are there any questions?
I don't have any.
I'm gonna rewatch. As I said in chat, I'm gonna rewatch the demo again and then just make a list of like team things that we could work on. If everybody can like just independently go and put personal things that they gotta work on and stuff to work on, that'd be excellent. But yeah, no questions.
Uh, yeah. I took a few notes. But I did want to look at the logs. So these are the logs for them. Sort by DPM. There's a few things I want to point out. 12 deaths for your medic compared to 6 deaths for theirs. That's generally either you're dying on mids a lot or they're using their Ubers much more effectively than you guys, and you guys are getting caught out. And that is something that was happening.
I want to note something I just noticed too. If you scroll back down again, their medic dropped 3 times, and it looks like you guys did not take advantage of a lot of those drops compared to your only single drop. If a medic drops that many times and you guys aren't like pressuring and getting like victories off of that, that's an issue as well. If that means you're able to kill their medic, that's happening. You're catching him off guard. You're getting him when he has Uber, and that's a really good thing. But you're not getting anything with it. You're wasting that victory you just got there, basically.
Yeah. And the biggest advantage is lost. That's basically when you have an Uber advantage and they get Uber during that time. I don't know exactly if this was the case, but it's possible you guys weren't going into them fast enough. But an alternative is if you're not using your Uber to go into them, if you are letting it even out, the only reason why that would be good is if you're gaining points off of it. Like, say you have Uber on your second, and you're able to take that Uber into mid, but you didn't use it. You still have very slight add, but it's about to Uber, or it's about to even out. You can peek into second. If they're backed up, then you can kind of scare them away with your Uber because they always have to respect that Uber. So that's just like another strategy, kind of milking it through each chokes and making them scared of your advantage because they have to respect you. Otherwise, you can just Uber into them. Jav, you had pretty low DM during this one. That kind of tells me that you probably weren't playing with your team or fighting with them a lot of the times. You were probably going off on your own. You need to be playing and with your demo and kind of shooting the same things he's shooting. Like your demo had 349 DPM, which is really high, and your job as Pocket Scout is to be cleaning up off of that damage.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be pretty boring when you're playing as Pocket Scout to kind of like sit when you see opportunities, but it's better to kind of like work with your team and make opportunities happen together than it is to take 1v1s and lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And especially like if you're in Ubers and um like shooting the same targets, calling your focuses, uh the kills and damage for both the demo and the scout, it goes way up.
I'll work on that.
So with their 3 drops, if you notice that their kills were a lot higher than you guys, that makes me think that a lot of their pushes were more off of player advantage. So that's just something to be aware of. And that goes back to kind of what I was saying about making sure you're not overcommitting on fights. You don't want to, after you've already lost like 2 players, you don't want to be losing 2 more. You just have to cancel it back out and set up for the next point. You guys were actually winning the majority of the mids, which is pretty good.
You lost something in translation there.
Yeah. So that's something to focus on. Kind of your pushes are going bad, but don't make them worse. And just make sure you're kind of locking down chokes and just slowing down. I think that's what you guys should be working on. It seems like half of your team is kind of trying to go fast, but the other half kind of isn't on the same page. So I would recommend just slowing down, making sure you're all on the same page, and then once you're able to go slow effectively, then you can start working up the speed on it.
Like this level, speed isn't always of the essence. So it's better to build your foundation and understand how and why pushes work and how the team works as a unit versus speed. Speed comes with time and with practice, and you will get faster as you all learn to work together. So don't rush after players, especially by yourselves. Like your demo went in a lot alone, and that should never ever happen. You should always be with your Pocket Scout, always, 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 at the very least. But preferably your Pocket Scout, your medic, and you should always be moving kind of as a unit. And if you guys are separated from each other, something is wrong. Like something is not right if you don't have your scout with you and your medic with you.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like you guys didn't really have a main caller decided yet as well. I will say from looking at it, I would, and from like your scrims that I heard, I would say have Fugazi main call or Yivbris.
Yeah, I feel like Yiv was main calling a lot, but there was a round where there was a big disagreement. I forget which one though.
It looks like a lot of the times Yiv kind of knew what to do, but wanted to also stay with their team. So Yiv, you just need to be more assertive and tell your team like what the situation is and tell them like I'm leaving, you need to leave too, or you're a feeder.
It's really important with medic.
Yeah. And when disagreements come up, a lot of the time, like, you can't spend so much time arguing about it. You just kind of have to be like, okay, we'll look at it during the demo and kind of figure out or a demo review, figure out what the correct decision was. But for now, we just need to focus on the current state of the game and what's next. Uh, but I also want to say in regards to that is during the actual fight, like with the comms, the main caller is always correct. Like after, if you're looking back on it, they might not have made the correct call, but everyone needs to be following that call that they made. You can't have people counter calling each other.
That just leads to confusion and makes it like you just split the whole team with that. And like he was saying, like the arguments mid match, that's what starts those. And just don't do it. Just it doesn't matter if your main caller was quote unquote wrong in your eyes. Does not matter. Just listen to what they say, do what they want to do. And if you don't like it, take note of it in your head and you guys can discuss it after when it's not like in the middle of a match.
Yeah. And for main calling at a lower level, you're probably going to have to micro people a little more. Like it sounds bad to say that, but no one really knows what they're doing. So micro people just so everyone is on the same page, at least at the beginning. And as you kind of progress more as a team, a lot of those things will stop needing to be said because everyone will kind of already know what they're supposed to be doing.
I'm more than willing to listen to main calls and give tips and tricks. I've been main calling for many, many, many seasons. And I'm so willing to listen to like you guys' comms and help out with that.
Yeah, but I will say I did see an improvement from what I saw during that first night of scrims and like the demo review we did before. So you guys are doing good. Just keep practicing, keep kind of trying to learn the game, and you'll be golden.
All right. Well, thank you. I don't know if anyone else has any other questions.
I don't have any questions relating to the demo now.
All right, cool. I'm gonna head out then. I just want to
Thanks so much
say,
for helping out.
if you guys want personal demo reviews, let me know. Always want to make sure people are willing to ask for that because uh, it's all about like how much you guys are willing to put into it, how much I'm able to provide as a coach. But yeah, you guys have a good night.
All right, you
too.
too.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Shadow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Just so you guys know, we just got a scrim for tomorrow.